Hey, I thought I'd make this video because I've been having a lot of repeat conversations with friends about disability issues that I'm facing right at the moment. I was recently diagnosed with connective tissue disorder, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And luckily, I got diagnosed really quick. I had some acute symptoms this summer. I woke up and had difficulties walking and had numbness in both of my arms. And that was a result of cervical spine instability, Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. One of the key things is that the collagen in my tendons is faulty, and so they don't keep my joints in place properly. What ends up happening is the other muscles, the larger motion muscles, end up doing the work of trying to stabilize all of my joints. And this causes a lot of pain and exhaustion. Those muscles weren't designed to do that job. It's just like if you tried to hold your arms out shoulder height for any prolonged period of time, you know how exhausting that is, even though you're not lifting anything up. Your arms were not, those muscles were not designed to keep your arms there. You can do a lot more work with your arms if they're in motion, like even if you're curling weights or that, you can usually do that longer than you can hold your arms static in the air. So I have some issues with the muscle groups that are holding my joints in place. When they suffer exhaustion, it means that I'm more prone to injury, subluxations, dislocations. The tendons are also responsible for giving feedback, like proprioception, so where your body is in space, and balance. And so that's impaired as well, and it gets worse when the muscles and everything are tired. Increasing risk of injury, and I fall down a lot. So yeah, I'm fine until I'm not. I'm fine as long as those muscles are not tired. When they reach their exhaustion point, I don't know how bad it's going to be, so who knows. The other issue that affects my mobility with this disorder is your connective tissue gives a lot of feedback to your autonomic system of what your body should be doing in reaction to what's going on. And my body doesn't give those signals. It has no survival instincts. So tendency to faint or feel dizzy when I stand up, and nausea, heat intolerance. My body doesn't thermoregulate properly, and I have postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome. So when I stand up, my heart rate goes through the roof. Some days it's up as high as 165 beats per minute just by standing up, standing still. And that's the maximum target heart rate for exercising for my age bracket. So that's a lot of work just to be standing up. So it means I brought a ladder to a couple parties to lean against and sit on, so that I could chat with friends and continue to be social. I also have a cane that converts into a standing chair so that I can lean on my cane or sit on the chair and still dance and hang out with friends at events. So it has a few ramifications with how I can interact and participate, especially within the burner community. I'm not a reliable volunteer. I don't know when I'm going to reach that exhaustion point, and so I prefer to do things that I can do on my own schedule, my own time when I'm well. So usually I pick making art that I can do by myself and just bring. So like it does affect how I'm able to participate, and it can sometimes feel a little alienating, especially in a community that's so volunteer focused, because I don't look disabled. And often I look like I'm having a really great time dancing my ass off or whatever, but like I got 2 good hours. There was a 3-hour event. So it can be a little hard to adjust. Art is one thing that I've done, and depending on the time frames for installation depends on what type of art I can decide to bring, because I can't really go and do a lot of work right before the event and then go to the event. So multiple day events are awesome for bringing art pieces. The few that I've brought an art piece to a short, like one day or one afternoon or one evening, I've pretty much set up my art and then ended up sleeping in my car to recover while the event was on, and then got up and unpacked my art and went home. So I'm trying to learn how to do pacing so that I get to be social, but I also get to contribute. I also do fire performance, and how I'm able to participate in that also is really influenced by this. Fire jams are awesome. I can decide how I feel in that moment and what is safe or not safe for me to do. I can make that assessment. I'm not really good with the build a show for the event at the event format or just before the event, for the exhaustion reasons and pacing, but also with bad proprioception. It takes me a while to familiarize myself with a routine and where my body is in space, and also where other people are in space. And so an act that can be practiced and performed with confidence so that everybody's where they are supposed to be and I am where I'm supposed to be is amazing. However, I don't have the ability to react in real time in a we just built this now. So it's sort of not a format I can usually participate in. I can't, so some shows I can participate in, some shows I can't, and that's just kind of how it is. I still get to do fire often enough that it's amazing. And I can push through my pain, like going to Burning Man. I performed in Conclave with dislocated ribs and just went through it all. You push through it when it's important. However, I wouldn't recommend doing fire shows with dislocated ribs if you don't have to. It's really painful. The other side of my connective tissue disorder is actually my allergies and food sensitivities, which actually aren't quite what I thought they were. I have mast cell activation disorder, which isn't actually an allergy. It acts as an allergy, so sinus problems, itchiness, hives, even anaphylaxis. But it's unpredictable. I don't know what I'm going to react to. I don't have a specific set of allergens. It's just how stressed is my system and how intense is the stimuli that I'm being exposed to. So I take medication to prevent reactions. I have a respirator that I bring to events in case scented products or things like that are too much for me in that moment. Natural means nothing. I'll still react to things that are natural. So I'm taking all of the precautions that I can. I don't expect to have this bubble formed for me. I just want people to continue inviting me. Don't write me off assuming that I can't come. I will figure out how to come if I'm up to it, and it's I will figure out and I can make that decision. The one thing that I do have a problem with though is people making that statement, well, you didn't react the last time, so assuming that I should be fine. And I may have reacted and just excused myself and gone home, so that, no one saw, or I might have been in bed for a week afterwards recovering. Still means I want to be invited. I may do it all over again because, I want to be there. But I would like some effort made to, go to things that are in my little bubble as well from friends. And the last thing is food. And this is actually a much bigger issue in terms of social connection. Food is a very social thing. And I think people underestimate how excluded it can feel when you're not able to participate. Volunteers are often thanked with food and drink. Tickets to events, especially multiple day events, are often priced according to food allowances. And I can't opt out sometimes. There have been events where there is no ability to opt out, and there is no ability for a place to guarantee that I will get safe food. To the extent that my disorder can flare up, there is no ability for somebody to guarantee to me that they will be able to accommodate what I need food-wise. And events where you can't bring in your own food are so frustrating. Often I will bring things that are packaged and sealed so that they know I'm not sneaking in anything funny. But it's really nice when somebody's there for me to field these questions to how bad will security treat me if I show up with. But again, invite me still, even if it's a food-based event, like a potluck, and I won't be able to eat anything, or an event at a restaurant. I know I'm just going to be sitting there sipping my coffee or whatever, but it's the social aspect that I want to be included in. And if you just assume that I can't participate, that's cutting off a huge avenue of my social connection to community, because so much of it happens around food. So yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to tackle, just because so many weird repeat conversations lately. But hope that helps, and it's really rather long. Sorry. Bye.